Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Movies with Vowels month. And we're back with a sequel to the first movie of the '80s, a classic, Hollywood spoof that led to this sequel that was pretty decent. I don't think this sequel it deserves all the hate it gets, and that is Airplane 2, the sequel. So you know exactly it's a sequel, not a prequel. Now I saw this movie last year. I bought it the month that Carrie Fisher had passed away, and I needed some laughs because God knows after a tragedy like that, I wanted to lighten the mood and see something funny. And this is a funny sequel. I think it's very underrated. This movie gets a ton of hate from critics saying it's a redundant experience. It's not a copy of the first movie. It does things differently. Like in this one, the cast does come back. You have Julie Haggerty comes back as Elaine, and you have what's his face, Robert Hayes comes back as a lead pilot, and this time they're going to launch a space shuttle into the moon where there's a space station where humans can actually live on and it's breathable. So they want to get people there, but the thing is, things go awry just like in the first film. And this time, instead of Leslie Nielsen, and there's no callback to the first film of Don't Call Me Shirley. No, there's different jokes this time. And this time you have a William Shatner is the lead guy. He's the Captain Murdoch, who was kind of a play on his Captain Kirk because he was still playing Kirk at that time in the '80s. So he didn't have a big part in this one, but he makes the most of his screen time. You also have Sonny Bono. May he rest in peace. I miss him. Him and Cher were a great singing duo, and he plays the bomber of the movie. The one that puts the bomb on the plane. Which, by the way, they would never spoof that now. After 9/11, bombs on planes cannot be ever done for laughs. And this movie is really, really the poster was misleading because they show Santa Claus riding the freaking like the what was it, the airplane, but he's not in the movie, and the movie doesn't take place during Christmas. So but it's still a worthy sequel to the first one. It's very funny. It's only 84 minutes long. It goes by real quick. I remember the ET joke where this is when ET was just came out. So there's a little hand, and he grabs a freaking landline and a payphone, and he goes phone home. I'm like, oh, that's a nice nod to ET, and I love ET. And there's other jokes too. Like Shatner's like at the end post credit, he says, uh, Paramount presents Airplane 3. Yeah, that's what the studio wants us to do. And I'm like, okay, that was pretty funny as well. Yeah, it's got a post credit scene. This did it before the MCU did it in 2008 to now. And I like seeing the cast come back. I mean, it's a different take on the first Airplane. The other actors come back. You have John Vernon comes back from the first one. I think he was in the first. No, was he in the first one? No, I don't think he was. Peter Graves comes back, and also what was his name? Lloyd Bridges. I think he's in the second one as well. And also, I think it was directed by the same guys. No, Howard W. Koch did this one, and yeah, no, he produced the film. The writer and the director is Ken Finkelman, so he did a good job with the material was given. I think the Zucker brothers backed out of this because I think they were doing Naked Gun. That's why Leslie Nielsen didn't come back to do this. He was, I think, doing the first Naked Gun around this time. So it really boomed his comedic career, and but at least there's a happy ending for the two leads. I mean, spoiler alerts is going to have spoilers. Uh, Ted, Elaine is engaged to another guy on the plane, and when things go wrong, her and Robert Hayes spend a lot of time together. So, and I think their romance is very sweet. It's very subtle. They act human. They're not saying pretentious or shitty dialogue like in the 50 Shades movies. And they have good chemistry, Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty. I think she has a wonderful voice. And then when they get married at the end, it's very sweet. It's an ending to their story arc, and it doesn't piss you off. And also, the movie's light in tone. It's not dark. It's not a 2 hour comedy like nowadays where every comedy has to either be an R-rated, mean-spirited movie or it has to be 2 hours. And I don't get it. Just make me laugh for 90 minutes or less, and you did your job. And this movie did make me laugh. It should have had special features, though. The first one has a commentary and interviews and a trivia track, but The second movie has nothing, and I don't think that deserves that. Why is it that comedy sequels don't get as much love on DVD or Blu-ray like the first one? I don't get it. Home Alone, tons of features. Home Alone 2, nothing. Ghostbusters, tons of features. Ghostbusters 2, a few features on Blu-ray, but that's about it. Yeah, I can go on and on and on. But anyway, this is a fun movie. Airplane 2 is a worthy sequel. If you've seen the first one and you like it, shut your brain off and see this one. It's a lot of fun, lighthearted, good characters. That's what I miss in comedies now. I don't want to see a comedy where the two leads are assholes or a bunch of women or a bunch of men are assholes. That's not funny to me. That's not appealing to me at all. But other than that, there are some problems, like I said, that, there are some jokes that are kind of like that are not as good as in the first movie. Like the inflatable guy is not in the sequel. Leslie Nielsen's not in the film. It hurts it a little bit, but I still like William Shatner in the movie. I don't remember Steve Stucker and Al White and James A. Watson Jr. I don't remember their characters too much. I've seen the film once, so I got to get back to you. But other than that, it's funny. It's a good sequel. It's a decent sequel. I like what they did with the two characters here. Unlike a certain sequel that came out last year, that yeah ruins a lot of characters. But I don't want to give the finger because my pressure's high. I don't want it to go any higher. But anyway, Airplane 2, the sequel, is worth a watch. If you bored and it's on Netflix, watch it. If you can stream it somewhere, watch it. If you can watch it on cable, it's worth a watch. And it's a great companion piece of the first one. It's not perfect. It's definitely flawed, but it's still a recommendation because it's not as shitty as some of the spoof films that have come out in the last 15 years. I can assure you of that. But anyway, that's my review of Airplane 2. Fun movie, fun sequel, and it doesn't hurt the first one, in my opinion. So, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. I got to lose some weight because, I'm overweight. I need to shed some pounds. This week I have to walk so I could lose these cheeks on my face and this beer gut. I know I don't look it, but hey, there's always room for improvement, especially since this year just started and we have 11 months to go and more reviews to come. So see you guys in the next one.